You need to do what you are supposed to do to protect yourself and your wife and your children from hellfire that is fueled by people and stones. If you don't do this, you don't love your wife. You don't love your children. If you don't do that, that means you don't love them. Loving your wife is not as some people may think. They wait for what is called Valentine Day, and he would bring his wife a flower. That's not the love. The real love is to think about the future of your wife, how she's going to be saved from hellfire. I need to teach her the obligatory knowledge. It's either by yourself, or if you are unable to provide that knowledge, send her to someone who is trustworthy, who can teach her that obligatory knowledge. That's if you love your wife. If you love your children, think about your children not being tortured in hellfire. Set your compass to the right direction. Where should I go? How my life should be? Learn the obligatory knowledge. On top of that obligatory knowledge is the knowledge pertaining to knowing about Allah and His Messenger. Because with that knowledge, you know that you have the correct belief in Allah and His Messenger. And that's why the Prophet ﷺ continued the hadith by saying, adhere to the majority of my nation and do not drift away from them. For the devil is closer to the one when he is by himself, and he is further from him when he is with someone else. And imagine when you are with the majority of this nation. Stay with those who would bring you closer to religion. Do not be close to the ones who would drift you away from religion. Those who would tell you to spend time in matters that would not benefit you in your grave and in the hereafter. Those do not love you. I always mention this. They say, this is my best friend. And if you ask him these questions, has he ever told you to pray? He would say, no. Has he ever told you to go to a religious session where you can learn about your religion? He would say, no. Has he ever warned you against committing the haram, the sins? He would say, no. This is not a friend. The friend is the one that directs you, reminds you that you need to perform the obligations to avoid the sins. He calls you before the lesson. Don't forget, tonight is the lesson. I want to see you there. That's your friend. That's the one who cares for you. You're the one that uses you. The one who wants to have fun. That's why he hangs around with you. He wants to laugh, waste his time. The true friend is the one that reminds you of performing the obligations and avoiding the sins. The one who reminds you to learn the obligatory knowledge. Because without that knowledge, how would you be able to know what is right and what is false? What is classified as proper faith, the true creed, and what is false. You must have the correct belief in Allah and His Messenger in order to be identified as a believer. To believe in God means to believe that the Creator of the universe does not resemble any of His creations. The Creator does not resemble the creations. That's the belief in God. The Creator does not need the creations. Who created us? Allah. Allah doesn't need us.